want to start by saying how amazed I am at the photos you've submitted. It was really hard to pick what to show because there's a lot of good stuff, so really impressed by you guys. I'm gonna go over the photos and just keep in mind that it's my opinion on these, it's not the general truth, and I will be as honest as I can with the goal of helping your photos improve and sharing my impressions of them. I will be reviewing based on three things. It's feel, like how I feel instantly when I see the photo. Number two is composition. I'm really big on the way that images feel, like if they're balanced, if there's harmony in them. And three, I'm going to talk about the editing of them. So these are my criterias, and I'll always go back to these criterias for every image, so we can establish a good baseline for you guys. I think that's it. I got to start my screen recording. I might do some light edits on Lightroom on some of the photos. Let me open Lightroom and get this started. Okay, I think this is from Haiti, file name says. I picked this one to change it up because we don't see enough portraits like this. So really excited when I see like portraits, and especially this one because the whole family is behind. So my feel is like the photographer is definitely there. Like I am in the scene, they're looking at me. I don't really know what they want from me, but they're looking at me. Obviously there's like total destruction behind, so I feel pretty bad looking at this image. Like it's tough. I like the way it's framed. I like the way it's edited, like this good punch in the contrast. So improvement wise, I would have liked to have the men here a little closer to me, so as the family is either a bit more blurred or have the men be more part of the scene. But I feel like the depth of field is a bit distracting, right? Because people in the back, his family or his friends, are not, and they're not blurry enough or they're not sharp enough, so it's kind of on the fence, but really cool shot. This is a photo that I really enjoyed because of the feel of it. It feels like a painting, a scene from the medieval ages. There's horses, there's the rainbow, and the grading actually, like this kind of green and purple grading, and I think it's just added grain. I don't know, it just makes me want to be there. It also reminds me of Wales, and Mr. Finn Beals lives in Wales, and I like his photos because of this country feel, so that kind of transports me. That's a personal feel. In terms of composition, I would have, wanted to see a bit more of the tree on the left side. I feel like there's a bit of empty room on the right side, like I would want to bring it a bit more balanced. Also bring the rainbow onto that, third. I think that feels better. In terms of editing, like I said, I like the edit. I wouldn't use it for my photos, but this is, I always like to see if somebody's trying to do something, and I think that what they're trying to do here, like the feel they're trying to achieve with the editing, is successful, so perfect. Ooh, we're going to the Alps. Looks like the Dolomites. I picked this one, it's pretty summery, and the colors are kind of funky, like the blue mountain and the green. First thing I want to do, I feel like I want to be up there for sure. This field is a bit like calling too much attention. I feel like it's a bit better like this, more balanced. Composition wise, I think I like it. Just that little foreground was kind of calling my name a little too much. Had to tame it down. Editing wise, I feel like the mountain's a little too like purple blue. Like I can see that. I'm trying always to edit in a way that doesn't show too much. It's gonna age well. I don't know how this is gonna age. Okay, this is one of my favorites. I like to see people in natural environments in the landscape. I like blue, I like orange, so this has it. In terms of the feel, I'm sensing, no, they're running, right? So I'm sensing that they're going somewhere in sort of a rush, maybe they're rushing up there for sunset. I don't know, it just kind of leaves me wondering what's going on. I kind of want to see more in a series. By itself, it's a cool image. I'd like to see the whole series. Composition-wise, not much I would do. I like the minimal sky, like really empty. Maybe bring the third on the mountains, like the lower third on the mountains, and kind of give more room to the right side of the image because they're going up, so more breathing room to the right. That's kind of, it feels a little better like this, but really cool shot. I'm just like picking on this one. Okay, I'm gonna get a bit critical. Well executed shot. Obviously somebody put some thought into it with the waterfall being motion blurred, must have used a filter to slow it down. I like the light coming up from the top, so the composition is thoughtful. He or she's been using a tripod. They also use their buddy because that person is pretty still on the upper part of the image, so this is definitely a stage shot. And I don't get much of a feel from it. I feel like it's the fall and somebody's fishing, but I don't get, fishing is really slow to me, and I don't know, I'm not able to immerse in this image, I think because there's two things crying for my attention. The waterfall is like look at me, and then there's a subject above it who's in the light, who's also like attracting my eye, so I don't really know where to look at. Composition-wise, that's the issue, right? I almost, would either get rid of the subject or not make the waterfall a slow-mo, like a slow shutter. Yeah, it's gonna be tough because there's two subjects in the photo, and I don't know who the photographer wants me to look at. Is it the waterfall? Is it the guy? So I'm just confused. Otherwise, technically very well executed, so good work there. Okay, I think this is Vik, Iceland. Murderous waves are right out there. Yeah, it's a pretty terrifying beach. I really like the feel of this image. I feel like it's a still from a movie or something like that. The light is awesome. The editing, I feel like, has a bit of fade. A little too much maybe for my liking. I'd like to see a bit more contrast in the blacks. Composition-wise, nothing I would say. It's really cool. I like the way it's cropped up here with this gray area. I mean, my eye is instantly attracted to the center of the image. The gravel looks good. In terms of a feel, I feel like I'm feeling a bit disconnected with this one. I feel like it's this grand scene that I'm sort of contemplating through a screen or through a print. I'm not connecting with the place, but really grand photo. Well done. The woods, in terms of a feel, I love it. I feel like I am just kind of walking with them, but I'm a silent observer because they're like looking ahead. The trees look really cool. Really nice scene. In terms of the composition, I would like to see more trees, right? As to kind of make the subjects a little smaller and have the forest be more daunting. I feel like the subjects are a little too close to the right edge here. I would have been a bit more on the right side of the trail so as to get more room between the subjects and the edge of the frame. Composition, nothing much to say. A little bit more punch. I feel like it's really faded. Yeah, I'll just give it a little bit more punch, but that's personal again. Good work. Okay, I don't know who submitted this image, but I really like it. Blue Hour, I feel like I'm with them. Like I've arrived at night at this hut somewhere in the mountains. I have to kind of run up here to take a photo, so I feel like I'm in the moment here. I am craving for more photos of this place. Like I'd like to see a whole set. People inside, outside, maybe some skiing, I don't know. It leaves me wondering what happened. Editing, I like a good vignette, and no big deal. I like the vignette as it is. I think it feels like natural. He was probably shooting really open. Like there's some depth of field with the lens. Really awesome shot. Okay, the penguins. Brian Doyle. Thanks, Brian. I mean, first thing. I want to try this right now. Flip horizontal. I feel a bit better about it. I don't know why. Instinctively, I want to flip it. I feel like they're kind of running out of the frame, and I'm desperately trying to catch them in this frame. If I flip them on the other side, I feel like they're coming towards me, so I like that a bit better. Seems like, Brian, you are on a trip and you're trying to make the most of this moment, so tough to shoot animals, right? But I wish they were more center in the frame, and they were not about to leave the frame. Cool moment though. Shooting in really rough light. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is when you go on these expeditions, but I feel like, I don't know, the light's quite intense. Wanna work on the edit a bit, tame those whites. I feel like when you edit in midday, it's about almost overexposing the whites, almost, but then kind of bringing them down. It's a subtle art. Cool moment nonetheless. Okay, johnhiker.jpg. So first, I love the feel. I really like the way the sky is exposed. It's awesome how the snow is glowing. I am wondering what happened there. Did he layer the sky in the snow, or is it just like that? Yeah, this photo just makes me wonder what happened. Really cool vibes. I like the way the snow shines. Maybe the stars reflected in the snow through some Photoshop trickery. Either way, I like the moment. The composition is really bulletproof, centered, the subject, big sky, nothing to say there. In terms of the edit, I feel like the sky looks a bit unnaturally bright. I feel like it almost wants to be tamed down a little bit. I like to make my skies dark because they are dark at night. Thanks to the cameras, we can make them bright, but they're originally dark, and it's good to make the photo feel like that, like real life. See, I also want to bring some light into the snow. Yeah, this feels a bit more natural. Let's see. This feels more like I was there, and this is the way it looked as a photographer if I was there. But really cool shot. So this one I picked it because it's a good time to talk about composition. Why is the whole right side of the image empty and the left one isn't? It just feels unbalanced to me. That's the first thing I see, right? It's like the image is falling off. Like even just playing with quick cropping and finding an empty space on the left to balance it a bit better. This feels more balanced right there to me. Like sometimes it's hard when you have these wide scenes to pick what you cut, what you don't cut. So I always look for like clean edges on the side of the image to cut, and then make my composition with, you know, my crop tool. I mean, ideally it's better to get it, you know, when you're there. Like you could have done this when you were there if you had felt this disbalance. This feels better. The edit is kind of washed out, teal, works. Well done. Cool shot. Last photo. See what I was telling you about the skies being darker? Like I feel like here, this sky feels more natural than the other image. Like this feels more like the night sky to me. Positioning tents and cars near tents is an art. I've spent hours thinking about the best way to position them when you're like staging a shot of a tent and a car at night. And I like to use the triangle approach. So 1, 2, and then the subject in the middle. That always feels balanced. Here I feel like the photographer went for that, but close and didn't do it perfectly. Maybe it's on purpose. I just feel like this image needs breathing room. Like I want to see what's all around the frame because this just feels too tight. But technically well exposed, shows the moment. I want to be there looking at the sky too. Good shot. That was it. I don't know how many images we went through, but quite a few. My brain's a bit cooked. It was really cool to see them. Really, when I was filtering through them, if you're wondering why your image didn't make it, don't be mad or something. I was trying to cut it down and find ones that I could talk about. You know, those like things I could improve on, not just share all the perfect photos. So really good work across the board. I hope this will help you with your compositions and your editing, and especially the feel you want to convey in the images. I think it starts always with the feel for me, like what do I want the viewer to feel? So work on that at the beginning before you go out and shoot instead of trying to fix it after. Okay, that wraps it up. Thanks for watching.